Hey, Cooter.
Joe!
Check this out. There's anywhere but here, man, on this here podcast.
Oh, I like me some podcasts, man.
What y'all talking about?
We're talking about anywhere but here.
What's anywhere but here? Anywhere but here in Mississippi?
No, man, anywhere but here over in England.
Hey, we ain't in England.
I know, but that's where the England's from.
What?
Hey, Cletus, remember when we went and saw that movie about the wars in the stars and they had like lightsabers and stuff like that? Well, these people here talk about things we like.
Really?
I guarantee you.
Well, hot diggity damn. What we waiting for?
Anywhere but here podcast.
Hello and welcome to Anywhere But Here, episode number 79. I am Tom.
And I'm Ant.
And again, the dog, for the second week in a row, has decided to try and mess things up. He's been perfectly fine the entire time. I thought he was outside because we've dog-proofed the garden now. But no, he was just lurking in the background. I swear he does it on purpose.
Yeah.
We could always have restarted the intro, but then that wouldn't be quite as funny, would it?
No, and we don't do edits.
No.
Not on this show.
No, we're too good for editing.
So, if you want to find us, you can find us at abhpod.com, where you can find all the relevant links to our iTunes and our Stitcher.
You can. You can also find us on Twitter at ABH Pod, where we also put interesting links and fun things for you to read.
Occasionally.
And stuff.
Facebook.com/ABH Pod, where we also, well, the Twitter and the Facebook's connected, so whatever we post on one is on the other. But go and follow us on both.
Yeah, please.
Because it's important.
It is.
For us.
You can find us. You can also watch us, of course, on YouTube, but that's youtube.com/ABH Podcast.
It is indeed. That's awesome. And if you are enjoying the content you are getting from us, you can go and support us by heading over to our website, abhpod.com. Click the Amazon banner in the top right-hand corner and just shop as you normally would. Spend as much money as you normally would. And Amazon give us a little kickback as a thank you for sending people their way. Because we're the reason you find Amazon.
Exactly, yeah. You should replace your Amazon favourite with abhpod.com, in fact, and you should go through our website to get to Amazon at any point, even if you're just browsing, just in case.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just in case you have an impulse buy.
Because I tend to do that. But I remembered this week I've made quite a major purchase.
Thank Christ for that.
and that £17 will be winging its way to us at some point soon, I'm sure.
And we get 5% to do the maths, people.
No, that is the 5%. Yeah, right, yeah. Mm-hmm. What else do we have? We're on Stitcher, we're on Pocket Cast, we're on all sorts of
podcast land where you can go and vote for us. People do vote as well.
People do vote, don't they? I told you, yeah. It does
I did
happen.
check that for once.
And it's not me.
It wasn't me either.
No. So thank you for your votes. Also, thank you if you've left any reviews or ratings or anything like that on iTunes, Stitcher, any of those kind of podcast clients. It all helps at the end of the day to get us out there to a broader audience, which we are doing.
We are.
It's great. So again, I'd like to welcome any new listeners if you're out there.
Yes.
Get in touch with us. We want to know who you are because we don't know who anyone is anymore.
No, and well,
we know who a lot of people are, but we don't know who everyone is.
We don't know
is
everyone.
what I'm saying.
We don't know the all-encompassing. You'd have thought I'd had this mic set up, seeing as we've been here for about half an hour getting ready.
Well, just happens.
It just seems really quiet on there. Yeah, that's that, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think.
Good bit of interaction from last week's show about food, I believe. People, again, it was a nostalgia fest for a few people.
There was also a lot of errors, glaring errors we made over the last 2 episodes, or some major errors.
Yeah.
Particularly the lie detector comment.
Yeah, that was yours, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And to be fair, I couldn't remember the bloody name of it anyway.
Apparently court stenographers. That was right, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Conduct, what did I call it? An echograph, which is about sound.
Which is sound, yeah. I just couldn't think of the word, so I agree.
And one of our listeners is a stenographer as well, so she had a great time with that one.
Yeah.
That's Kelly from Mating Habits of the Modern Geek. Oh dear.
We are not the bastions of truth.
No, we don't. We never claim
to be.
So
no, we're famed for our inaccuracy. In fact,
if you go and relay information you hear from us as fact, then that's your own fault.
Yeah, listen to Ship Tie and Transit. There's actual fact on that show.
Hopefully,
maybe.
We do some research.
Yeah, no, that's it.
We do a bit of research. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen you for 2 weeks. What have you been up to?
Lots, actually. Yeah. I had my 2 weeks off work, in which most of which I spent A, looking for a job, and B, fixing up the ABH Pod Pod.
Yeah, if you check on our Facebook page, actually, you'd be seeing the progress from that. So
I've
it
been
no longer looks like a 70s spaceship.
No, now it's got wooden panels over the top of the foil. So now it's like working down there was like working in a fucking sauna.
Once you'd insulated it, now you're gonna have to get some aircon in there.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the problem. You see,
or have the door open. When we're in there
I had a bit of problem with mold.
Oh, really?
In there because there's no ventilation.
Ah.
So I've had to leave the doors open to clear some of it out because the problem was because it's dug into the hill.
Yes,
slope
of course,
in the garden. Part of it was effectively about half a foot to a foot underground. So that didn't help.
But it's not right up against the mud, is it?
It was.
It was. Yeah. It's not now.
Not anymore. No, I've had to dig another trench in front of it.
Oh my word.
Waterproof the outside of it as well as the inside of it.
Yeah.
And double waterproof the outside of it. And yeah, I've dug below where the foundation was anyway, and then I've filled all that with shingle.
Yeah.
It's been a
learning experience.
Yeah. I'm learning how to build as I go along. Hopefully, the problem will subside now.
Yes.
Because there were like streams of water coming in through the bottom.
Oh, really?
And then
Oh dear.
yeah, like little puddles and stuff. It's been a bit of a pain.
Yeah.
With the amount of rain and storms that we've had recently as well, because it's been those couple of weeks.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of them, but when we did get them, it was
buckets, wasn't it?
It was insane. It was almost like a tropical storm, wasn't it? That Friday.
Yeah.
But hopefully by the end of the year.
Easily.
By the end of the summer.
Yeah. That's pushing it. But I've got the acoustic foam on order, so I'm going to put acoustic foam panels on the walls, the doors, and the ceiling.
Yes.
I've got all the stuff to put. I've got waterproof membrane to put down on the floor, and I've also got acoustic underlay.
Oh, awesome.
I've got a load of that.
So it's going to sound very strange in there.
And then I'm going to put a carpet down as well. So the only thing I need now is carpet.
Yeah.
And then I've got to build the table.
Yep. Purpose-built table. And then it's just the hardware.
And I'm gonna put acoustic underlay on the top of the table and then felt over it.
Yes, that's a good idea. So there's no reflections off of the table either.
I bought myself my first staple gun as well.
Oh, really?
As well. That was fun.
So you've been standing at the bottom of the garden and
firing
staples at me. Yeah, I would as well.
Yes.
Yeah. And I've got 3 weeks off coming up.
Yeah.
Because it's the summer holidays in the UK. I think America they're going, but they go back in August, so I think they're already off. They've been off for a while.
Yeah.
I believe. So yeah, I've got Chloe for 3 weeks, so I probably won't get a lot done.
No.
Unfortunately. Well, a lot with regard to podcasts. I'll be going to parks and zoos and swimming and things like that. So yeah.
So if you were looking at getting on a guest spot on Ship Tie and Transit with Anne, probably not going to happen.
Maybe in an evening when Liz is home.
Yeah.
Or a weekend, just hit us up and if you've got anything.
Because I am most of the way through editing the one that I did with Stephen now.
Yeah. So
and it's proven that it does work.
Yes.
We can do this.
Somehow.
Yeah.
It didn't when Tom and I tried to record together.
No. But it did for me and Stephen. So, that was serendipitous.
Yeah.
There's another long word, eh?
Yeah. Stop using those.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. So, but the last couple of weeks, the Destiny beta came out. And unfortunately, I didn't get a lot of time to play it like I did like the alpha because I was at work. The shift I was on at work didn't allow me time because when I got home from work, I was looking after Chloe and then had to be in bed early. But I did get some game time on it the last couple of nights. Last night I played with an American friend of mine that I won't mention.
You mentioned them too much.
Yeah, because I've been playing Diablo 3 with somebody from that group as well, that group of people. But and they were kind enough to gift it to me. But I'd like to name them by name, but I don't want to bore people with the same. Well, I don't want to bore people.
Because it was nice. It was a gift.
Yeah. Thank you, Miles, and congratulations as well to you and Christine.
Yes.
On the birth of Claire.
Yes.
Fuck it, we're going to mention you.
Well
I don't
done.
care what anyone says.
Well done.
Yeah. Yeah, but gaming, that was awesome. And I've pre-ordered The Last of Us, which will be coming on the 1st of August.
Yeah.
which was the PS3. It won all those Game of the Years.
Yeah, I do. That's gonna be the last purchase I make for the PS3, I think, because it's gonna last me through until when the PS4 comes down in price, I reckon.
Yes, and it is, by all accounts, it is a fantastic game, and I haven't played it, and I'm glad it's coming out on the PS4, like remastered. So.
Yeah. It's like the HD edition, isn't it? Or so, you know.
Well, no,
like
it's completely they've done new models.
Oh, right.
They've done it like they haven't just improved the look of it. They totally revamped it.
Oh wow!
For the new console.
Cool.
So, but it's going to be, and it's got all the DLC with it as well.
Wicked
on the PS4 version. So yeah, that is going to be awesome, and I just can't wait for September when Destiny comes out because it is amazing. It's, I don't know.
Well, Destiny, you mentioned it a few weeks ago on our gaming episode, I believe, didn't you? Is it an RPG?
Yeah.
Am I right? It's that one that's like RPG first person and all the rest of it.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
like it's more like an action RPG. It's not like World of Warcraft style RPG. There's a lot of story. I mean, there's story to World of Warcraft, but yes, essentially it is an action RPG. It is a first person shooter also. Yes
and no.
It's first person, so you might not like it so much, but it looks incredible. Like last night I was playing with two people. We were in what they call a fire team, where there's you and two other people go in and do missions together.
Right.
Because Bungie opened up a special mission, like another mission for people, but it's been open to everyone for the last couple of days from who have got any console. So they were stress testing the servers.
Yeah.
So it was just like, if you come on at this time, you get a special mission for 2 hours. It was open for, and you get a special emblem in the final game.
Okay.
So like they got everyone who could, and PlayStation held up, Xbox didn't.
Oh, interesting.
So, you know, but it was amazing. You got to go to the moon, and like, which sounds but it just looks incredible. Like you could look behind yourself and you could see the Earth.
Right.
And depending on the time of the day and the country you were in, it was either completely in sun or it was like a crescent.
So it's like real time to where you are in
the
world.
The day, it's got a day-night cycle. I think. No, it's got a day-night cycle, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I might be talking total bollocks. But like I saw on Twitter, a lot of people were like, oh, I got to the moon and I was distracted by a satellite flying overhead that I just followed across the sky.
Yeah.
And it's...
Okay.
Like,
there's a lot of depth.
Oh, it's just amazing. If you're going to play it on next gen. Don't play it on current gen.
Well, it is.
They
now,
are current
isn't
gen.
it?
Don't play it on the last.
It's been out for nearly a year. Well, December.
Yeah,
October, November, wasn't it?
About 9 months, 10 months, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're going to play it on like the PS4 or the Xbox One, because it shines with those consoles, with the amount of depth and detail and draw distance you can get on it.
Yeah.
I can't talk enough about it.
No,
It's
I
just
can
incredible.
tell. It's good.
Yeah, so
I like it. I like the sound of it.
Games
again.
So I haven't been playing Batman for a little while.
No, fair enough. Yeah.
I need to do that before next year, before Arkham Knight comes out. But yeah, so like I'm going to be spending summer holidays with Chloe, swimming and stuff. Have you got any plans? Because I know Joe's off for the summer holidays, but you've had your 2 weeks, haven't you?
Yeah, because my work doesn't prioritise people who don't have family.
No. You said about
this
that.
is not a criticism, of course, but I might start photoshopping babies into my Facebook pictures.
You can borrow Chloe if you want.
Pretend I've got a child for next year, if I'm there. So we're going away for a weekend here and there because Joe's got her marking money now.
Yes.
So that's.
I thought they was paying for the pod. Some of it.
Yeah, partially. I'm trying to. The initial outlay for the building actually was from her.
That little bit, but you're trying to cash flow it.
All the rest of the stuff that has gone into it, I have tried to pay for myself.
Yeah.
Even though I live well above my means already.
You've been struggling to just put money aside each week for that. That's what I've been doing for games actually, because there's so many I want at the minute.
Yeah. So, so we're going to go away for a weekend or two. In fact, in 2 weeks' time, we're going away, which is why we're doing.
Well, that's the thing. We're going to have 2 weeks where we haven't recorded, so we might put out a little special treat, a little short episode.
Yeah.
And, when it comes out, you'll know about it.
I like the sound of that one anyway. Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
I actually failed to mention nearly 8 years ago, Liz and I went to see Wicked for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
In January 2007. I can pinpoint it because it was a Christmas present. We went just in the new year. And Liz was pregnant with Chloe. Mm-hmm. And I've mentioned Kerry Ellis before. She played Elphaba.
Yeah.
And she's actually back for August as Elphaba. So we are actually taking Chloe to see Wicked with Kerry Ellis in it.
Cool.
Which is, I realised that the other day when I was in the shower, actually.
It's funny when these ideas come to you.
I realised, I said, last time we saw Kerry Ellis in Wicked as Elphaba, Liz was pregnant with Chloe. This year we're taking her back to see it with Kerry Ellis as Elphaba again. And yeah, as soon as that came out on Twitter, Liz was like, are we going? I was like, that's like the stupidest question ever. Of course we're fucking going.
Fair play.
It's going to be amazing. But yeah, she's only in it for a short amount of time. So we're going the end of August.
Fair play.
So that'd be cool.
That's pretty cool. I don't think I've got very much lined up for the summer, if I'm quite honest with you.
We're going to see Blink in a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah?
Liz and I, yeah. She really wanted to go. So.
Yeah, no, it's fair enough. I'm sure they still put on an all right show, but
the banter between songs might be fun.
Yeah.
And it's not that the songs are terrible, and I'm going to love listening to songs like Carousel.
Yeah, of course.
Any song where Mark Hoppus sings will be fine.
Yeah.
But it's just the fact that Tom DeLonge has to use that stupid guitar, that semi-acoustic that he used for
Angels
and
Airwaves.
Airwaves. He used that for Blink. It's not. Blink songs are supposed to be played with a Strat.
Yeah.
The sound isn't right from the
it's
semi-acoustic.
not, and that's why I'm not a big fan of what I hear from them now.
No, we saw them recently, a couple of years ago, and it was horrible. And we're going to see them again, and it's not going to be as good. But Liz is looking forward to it. It'll be fun because it's Blink, and it's in Brixton, so it's a fairly small venue. So it might be fun.
Yeah, you never know, eh?
We'll see. We'll talk about it in a few weeks, whenever it might be.
Yeah, like we've mentioned before, our schedule's a bit hit and miss at the moment just because of like the time off that we're all having at various points. So things that are happening now aren't going to be happening for 3 or 4 weeks.
That's what happened with the Kevin Smith episode, wasn't it? We recorded and we didn't get to talk about it for 3 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm desperately trying to load up some stuff here. My laptop has decided that it doesn't like me anymore.
Yeah, well,
talking of music though,
right? Yes,
I had an email from a guy called Adam Westgate.
Yes.
Just the other day, who wants to come on the show. I listened to the he's from a band. And if I can get the information up on any of my devices, it would be great.
I can't help you because it's your personal Facebook.
No, I know. He's given us, I don't know which band he's a part of.
Right.
Because it seems to be 2 bands, Avenge Thee and Name, Naime. But the track's called Ear of the Horse. And he just said that he'd want to come on and
I think he's part of
Avenge
Avenge Thee because I've heard that name.
Yeah,
linked
I've
to their
heard
bass
that
player
name
before.
Yeah, and the bass player is also from Near Ruin, who's a band that we've kind of we've been meaning to get on for a little while.
It's going to be interesting, like the idea you had about Down in the Pod Pod, getting them to do.
It'll be. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask
if they can do it.
Yeah,
I'm sure they can because
we're being very quick.
Because we don't want to promise something and not
exactly. But yeah, so thanks for getting in touch, Adam. If you're listening, which I hope you are.
Yeah,
I guess. We will reach out to you at a point where we're a little bit less all over the place, I guess.
Once we've got stuff settled. Because this is an idea we've had for a while about having bands on.
Yeah, because like we've mentioned in the past, we were part of the band scene around here for quite a long time. On and off. And it's kind of it's something that we've always been fairly passionate about, I think, really, isn't it? Like local music and
any sort of creative endeavour where people are trying to do stuff for themselves. We are willing to help people.
Yeah, of course, and like
have a positive outlook on everyone that's doing it.
We've not got a huge listener base, but there's enough people out there that could make a difference to someone, isn't there?
Especially to someone who's just starting out, or
themselves as
like they're a local band,
and
we know we've got some international listeners. Whether it doesn't matter how many there are, whether it's 5, 10, or 50, or 100, or.
And we know as well through being in bands and also on here, any listener makes you feel great. Like if you pick up extra listeners or extra followers or extra people who interact or let you know that they've listened and they like what they hear, or even if they're giving you constructive criticism, that's great. So yeah, I mean, we'd like to have these people on. We've got a few bands kind of lined up, haven't we?
Yeah.
So eventually we'll get round to kind of focusing on music, because when we focused on Mooley, we got some good results from that as well.
Yeah, it is a case of getting the pod sorted, trialing what we want, what the initial idea we wanted to do, because we were going to do it in our friend's studio. We were going to try and do it, or in a living room somewhere. But now we're going to have a pod.
We're going to have a
purpose-built
space.
recording space.
Yeah.
It's going to have great acoustics and sound.
Hopefully.
We can probably.
I'm not going to promise anything.
It's going to have better than a kitchen,
Yes,
better sound than a
you're right.
kitchen or a
with
dining
a
room.
load of glass.
So we're going to go down there, and we'll try it with one or two, and then we can start getting people in more and more, and it means we could do something special with our YouTube channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Possibly.
There'll be something more of a draw there, won't
So
there?
so we're going to trial that.
Like we said 2 weeks ago, there is a plan for
Loose.
there are ideas, and there's a kind of rebrand in the pipeline and all the rest of it. So by the end of the year, could be a whole new podcast.
Yeah.
You never
Same
know.
name.
Same name, same old shit every other week.
Yeah. But it means we won't have to struggle and ask our pod pals for ideas for our special weeks.
Yeah, no, precisely. So exciting things are on the horizon, and they will include having local bands in, hopefully, and other people who are doing podcasts in the local area, or just creative things.
Yeah.
If you know anyone who's doing anything creative and you want to, put a shout out to it, we've got people who do game channels, for example, who want to come on as well, and that's great because the people that listen to podcasts also kind of tend to subscribe to these kind of things anyway, because that's
all
what
new
they're
media,
into.
isn't it?
Yeah. So it makes
hate that
sense.
term,
It makes
but
sense.
it's-
The whole point of the Pod Pals group in the first place was to kind of cross pollinate listener
and encourage
bases and
each
encourage, and be like a positive thing. And I feel that we have quite we're people persons, aren't we?
We're people.
And we like to we like to invest in people. We like to kind of find out what makes them tick, and I think that kind of that breeds a certain kind of camaraderie.
Yes.
And,
you can definitely see it.
And it inspires creativity as well in us and them, and it's mutually beneficial.
Yeah.
On the most part. So that's another thing. I didn't mean to spend that long talking about that. I do apologise. But yeah, thank you very much, Adam, for your message. I will get back in contact with you, and we'll try and sort something out.
Yes.
Whew.
So, but speaking of exciting things on the horizon,
yes,
Comic-Con was this weekend.
Oh yes.
Now I didn't see a lot of it, but the stuff I did see, I wet myself. Especially this morning, what Joe sent me.
Most of the stuff that I've seen is about Batman.
Yes.
I
I'm going to be
posted
undecided.
the
I didn't see a lot of
picture-
Avengers stuff.
I posted the close-up picture of Ben Affleck in the cowl.
Sad Batman.
Sad.
It was still a sad Batman picture.
Yeah, it was him bent down.
It's not face, and we know why they haven't done face on now.
Yes.
Yes. But so we're going to have a link in our show notes. We're going to try and get it in the actual. So if you're on your podcatcher app, you should be able to click the link through there.
Yeah, and it should send.
And it'll be on our website if not.
Yeah.
It should send you to the site where there is a trailer hosted from Comic-Con. Zack Snyder, was it Zack Snyder? Yeah. Surprised everyone by bringing out a teaser trailer.
I'm very surprised at how early this has come.
I know,
although there's not a lot to it.
It's insane. No, there's not, to be honest. And it's shot from sort of like the middle of the venue to the right, so it's not entirely clear what's going on.
You can't quite see everything.
But you see, it's so exciting. It's just insane. You see somebody playing with the big bat signal.
Yeah.
And then they turn it on. I couldn't see who it was. Was that Gordon or was it Batman?
I thought it was Gordon, but then later on I think it looks more like it was Batman. But then
turning on his bat signal and the crest, I'm not sure.
It's the Frank Miller crest.
It's the chunky, there's not a lot of shape to it.
No, I don't mind it.
It does look really cool.
Yeah.
And it'll look cool on it because it's armoured suit, isn't it? I think.
It depends, because that original concept looks more fabricy because you can see his veins through it, but then you don't know whether they're...
It might be special material, that's the thing, it might be. But
Who
yeah,
knows
so
at the end of the day?
either way, they turn on the bat signal and it's up in the sky and there's like, it's dark and there's thunder. But then all of a sudden, Superman's there.
Just appears.
Just hovering, doing his Jesus thing,
Yeah.
hovering in the air, 6 inches or 6 foot above the ground.
Yeah.
With his, and like you hear the reaction from the crowd. Like everyone's like, just like, excuse me. You don't cough straight into the mic here at ABH Pod.
No.
So you see, I always put myself off. You see him there and everyone's, but then all of a sudden his eyes start glowing red.
Yeah.
Which is the first moment when you're like, ugh.
He's mad.
And then it cuts to Batman.
And his eyes are glowing white.
And it's just like, oh.
Because they've done it, finally.
I'm just getting shivers
not
now.
done the stupid face paint round the eyes that isn't there when he takes the cowl off. They're actually doing proper visor style eye displays in a kind of Iron Man style way, and that's what it should be, which leads me to think they might put that voice modulator thing in, perhaps, maybe.
Really?
Maybe. It's a technology helmet now, isn't it?
But it did. I don't think I've read a lot of those books when he's with that costume. Does their eyes? They are just lenses. They're not like computer targeting systems.
Well, it depends, because when you're playing the game, he goes into detective mode and they flick down, don't they? And that's the thing.
Actually, I wasn't excited by it, but then I realised what I was saying.
You're more excited now that I've said that.
Yes. Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah,
He's
so it's
getting ready.
detective
He's
mode,
in
so
detective
scanning the
mode,
environment for Jim Gordon's whiskey and cigar.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
I've got goosebumps.
I know. All you Ben Affleck detractors.
Yeah,
I think he's going to pull this off.
We were behind Backflip from the start.
It is one of those things. It's a lot to do with the scripts and the content of the film, and I think
they've spent this long on it. It's going to be good.
Yeah, it's worrying, like the amount of other characters they're bringing in.
Because you read that cast list. I think I've got it on my tablet. Just give me a sec.
I didn't find it, but we'll go on to it anyway. One of them we definitely know is Gal Gadot, and her costume was revealed. Yeah. And it looks cool, and she doesn't look very Amazonian, unfortunately, but the costume is awesome, but they've gone for that. We're a dark, serious film, so we can't have all these bright, different, contrasting colours. So her costume is predominantly red. Yeah. Which is fine, but somebody did edit that picture and they colorised it.
And it looks amazing.
The link is on our show notes. Yeah. And it is a comparison of the one they revealed and the slightly colorised. It's not even like they've done bright colours.
But they've put the red, yellow,
the gold, the blue shorts. And that looks...
It doesn't look out of place, does it?
It looks 10 times better. And she's an alien, so why can't she have colourful costume? Yeah. I mean, they did it with Superman, didn't they? Man of Steel, like his cape was red. Yeah. It was dark red, but it was red. And his suit
was a more
blue.
Muted version of the suit that you were used to.
Yeah, and maybe the Gal Gadot costume has got the colour, but that picture, the way it was edited.
Yeah, because it does look quite sepia, that picture, doesn't it?
It's the same with when they released the Sad Batman costume. Like, somebody slightly enhanced the colour so the suit was a lot greyer. Yeah. Wasn't so dark charcoal, it was a slightly lighter grey, and that looks better. I mean, I think they just tweaked the costume slightly. And I think it'll look fantastic. And it does look like it's going to be insanely good.
Yeah, I mean, I worry about how long it's going to be, because like we've said about the cast list, you've got obviously Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, as you were mentioning. Amy Adams is back as Lois Lane. Lawrence Fishburne is back as Perry White.
There are so many names.
Diane Lane is back as Martha Kent. Jeremy Irons is coming in as Alfred. Obviously, Jesse Eisenberg is Lex Luthor. Ray Fisher is Cyborg. And then you've got also Callan Mulvey, Holly Hunter, and Tao Okamoto as new character roles who haven't been...
I think it'll be... I mean, it seems as though it's going to be Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are the three
main ones. And then
they'll Justice League characters.
They've also cast someone in the role of Aquaman, haven't they? That guy from Game of Thrones. So they've got Aquaman and Cyborg in there. I thought that was a proper casting.
That is a good shot. He is... Is he?
I don't know. I don't know much about Aquaman.
But either way, I think things like Aquaman, because they haven't made a big deal about Aquaman like they did with Wonder Woman. No. And I think all the other people are just going to be minor Justice League characters they're introducing, and then they might introduce them in their own films later on, or...
Yeah, or
bring
the
them more
I mean, the
into-
next film that's coming out is the Justice League
Oh,
movie,
okay, yeah.
and that's also going to be directed by Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder.
Because they
as
have
well.
announced that as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's coming a couple of years later.
So, I am still excited.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm definitely excited for Guardians.
Yeah, which comes out at the end of the month, doesn't it?
Yeah, the new trailer.
We're gonna have to go and see that.
Yes, together.
Yeah, we'll make sure. I'll let you.
Are we going to do a spoiler cast?
I don't know. We'll see whether it warrants it.
Yeah.
I think.
It does look so good.
Yeah.
Did you see the giant godhead?
Yeah.
Now that's
Yeah. I'm more excited with every single thing I see
from that.
with the new thing. Every step of the way. Like I went from what is this and why.
Yeah. You could probably trace it
Through this podcast. If you go back about 4 months or 5 months,
you can hear us going,
like, is that going to work? It looks too cartoony. I'm not sure. How's it going to link in? I don't care now.
And then we're like, oh, it looks so good. But yeah.
Bad superhero news.
Oh.
Bad superhero. Spider-Man has been naughty.
Oh. Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think maybe there's some symbiote action going on here. But Spider-Man was arrested in New York the other day for punching a policeman in the face. Not very Spider-Man, is it?
Maybe he ran out of web fluid.
Possibly.
Because usually you web the policeman just to hold him off.
But yeah, so the policeman was telling him to stop harassing tourists, and that's not a very Spider-Man thing to do either.
Spider-Man.
No.
Doesn't sound very friendly.
No. The NYPD stepped in when Junior Bishop demanded at least $5 from a woman he posed for a picture with instead of the $1 that she offered him. So he was like, no, that's not enough. You need to give me $5. The officer told the costume 25-year-old that he could only accept tips, not require payment, and arrested him. Bishop then broke free after failing to produce identification and punched the officer in the face, leaving him with a cut and swollen eye. Both officers arrived. Other officers arrived to take Spider-Man away. He's been charged of assaulting an officer, resisting arrest, and criminal mischief. Not the best.
Vigilantes.
Yeah, these vigilantes. See, the NYPD were always after Spider-Man. They finally got him on a misdemeanor charge.
Punching a police officer.
And asking for
$5. I mean, to
money.
be honest,
It's £2.95.
Cheap bitch.
$1 is 59p.
What a cheap bitch.
I know, what a cow.
But the thing is, it's if you go to Comic-Con like it's just been what the bloody hell is his name? Plays Spider-Man, the English guy.
Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield. He would command a lot more than $5 for a
This is
picture,
quite true, yeah.
And
but I don't
guys,
think that either. That picture, I don't think is the guy.
No, that looks like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Yeah, if that is that guy's suit, then
that's a very good suit.
Well done, and I think you deserve $5 a photo for that suit.
But like the guys over at Universal City Walk in California, Los Angeles, the really dodgy guys, they're like $15-$20, aren't they?
Yeah, because
really
you're
expensive.
in Hollywood, and you know.
But $5 is not a lot.
It's not, but still,
Don't
it's
punch
tips
policemen.
though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's tips. It's not. It's not your job. You're doing that on your spare time to make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's not his job.
No, well, it might be, to be honest.
Well, yeah, true.
Especially with that costume.
Well, true.
If that's his costume. Dickhead.
Yeah.
Really.
What a prick.
But there's a documentary on Netflix about them. I can't remember what it's called. I think it might just be called Heroes.
Or is that the that's the one about
Not
the
Heroes.
Real life superheroes, isn't it?
There's that one, but there is one about the Universal City Walk.
Okay.
Costume
The
guys
costume,
on Netflix. I
yeah.
can't remember what it's called. I shouldn't have brought it up. I do apologise. Yeah, I think.
Yeah. So. Again, I just go back to that was that ran out.
Yeah, I just had nowhere to go with it. I do apologise.
So after completing all my work the other week,
Right.
We took a trip into town and we thought, let's get the bus.
Oh yes.
Let's get the bus. So that we can both drive back, we can have a few drinks, we can have a nice time out. We were supposed to be meeting other people, but it all fell through at the last minute. Went to a couple of pubs, very nice. Decided to get some food in that new place, the Brenchley. newish. It used to be the old NatWest Business Bank
Don't think
opposite
I know it.
Muggleton's. It's really nice inside,
really-
actually. It's one massive banking hall that they've turned into a bar. It's
I
got
know
this
what you
big
mean. I know what you
dome
mean.
in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
centre. It's
I haven't
alright
I haven't
in there.
been there actually, but I do know what you mean now.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Top of
Bank
right-
Street.
Yeah, yeah, that's the word.
Yeah. And yeah, we're having a meal, finishing our drink. So I go to the toilet, as you do. And there's a guy in there, one of the staff, he's cleaning up in there. And I was like, oh, that's good. He's cleaning.
He's
the
cleaning.
I
That's
like
what
to
you
see,
expect from
I
a
don't
public
mind
convenience.
seeing people in there cleaning up. But then I looked at the floor and there are stains all over the floor. And I think to myself, that's weird. Like, why would...
Yeah.
That's odd. And they were brown stains. And there were a few of them.
Oh.
And I kind of thought, what? How has this happened? Like, I asked the guy, like, what? Because
What on
I
earth
just shot
happened?
him a look and he was like, you don't want to know. And I just
I was
said
like,
to him,
yes, I do. I have a
"No,
podcast.
yeah."
I need to talk about this on what happened.
some weirdo, because there was no one in the bar itself that seemed that pissed
Yeah.
that they would just take a shit on the floor.
Which is what happened.
But someone did. And this poor guy was having to, like, clean up. And I've worked in bars and I've had to clean up vomit before, which is not a nice thing. Not a nice thing at
I
all.
don't usually have a weak stomach, but this is affecting me.
I do apologise.
That's
about this.
fine.
But that's not nice, and it's something that as a member of staff you're like, oh really, for fuck's
Yeah.
sake. But I never ever thought in all the years that I worked in bars that I would have to pick up shit off the floor. Like, it's just not something that you expect at any point in civilized society. I said to him, dude, you need a raise. You need to ask for, like, extra money
Just
for
a
this.
bonus.
Yeah,
Just for this,
a shit
please.
bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just... So we left.
Yeah.
Because this is the thing, like, normally you can pinpoint the person in a pub who's going to do something
Who's likely
stupid.
to do
Yeah,
that.
there was
Yeah,
no
yeah.
one in there. Admittedly, I couldn't see... we weren't in the smoking area.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just... Because I can't imagine it had been in there ages either. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't think it would have stayed there very
And I did,
long.
but I didn't see anyone get ejected either.
How do you think the conversation goes? Like when someone comes up to a staff member and tells them, and then they all gather around like, right, who's cleaning it up? It's like...
I did it last week.
Yeah.
I think it's...
Well, I don't know if it's a regular enough occurrence for them to say, I did it last week.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
don't you? To
I
be
think
fair,
it's got to be one of those... Yeah.
Draw straws.
Well, Maidstone's one of those towns where at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon they start wheeling out the outside urinals, isn't it?
Yeah, on those Friday and Saturday night. Yeah.
I find that so scummy.
Yeah.
I really do.
Have I? No.
I don't think I have.
If I have, I was too drunk to remember.
Yeah. But that is the point, and that's the reason they're there.
It's
Fair
so
enough.
people don't piss in
But
them.
I've seen people use them
Shitting.
in broad daylight.
I've seen people shitting in them.
Really?
Yeah, I saw
Oh.
someone facing the wrong way in one.
Oh, no.
Yes, Maidstone is a lovely town. Come visit.
See, I kind of miss Maidstone because I don't really like Medway that much, and I think Medway's a bit scummy, but
Yeah.
Maidstone has its moments.
Yeah. But they do bring buses from Medway down to Maidstone
They
for club
do,
nights.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So I mean, it's the clubbing capital of Kent, really, isn't it? Maidstone?
yeah, and there's not a lot there to be
No,
honest.
but there's more than is other places.
It's horrible, but then a few months ago, there was a story... Oh, no. Somebody put on Facebook, again, same as you did with this guy. They were in... Like, if I mention the club, you're not going to be surprised. It was Sauce Bar.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, so you know what Sauce
Yeah.
Bar is like. There was a guy... Or was it a woman? No, I think it was a guy on the dance floor, dropped his trousers, took a dump right in the middle of the dance floor.
Really?
Yeah. In Sauce Bar. Middle of a crowded dance floor, dropped his cacks.
I mean, Sauce Bar has a reputation for people being off their tits on all sorts of chemicals.
It's been shut down 2 or 3 times on drug raids.
And somehow it always gets reopened.
Because it's the same owner.
Who, yeah. Who
Sort
owns?
of... He doesn't own it anymore.
No. But
One
he's
of
got,
his staff or one of his friends owns it, and they
Yeah.
suddenly, these people with no money, suddenly have lots of money to
Yeah.
buy a business and reopen it with the same name.
Yeah.
One of those issues.
Yeah.
And they get a little cut for their troubles for having
Yeah.
their name associated with it.
He's got a bit of a monopoly on Maidstone nightlife. hasn't he,
Allegedly.
this guy? Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly, this is what happens.
This is what I've heard.
Yeah. I've never had a
place
friend
is
that
a-
works there that told me that.
No. I've never known anyone who's worked behind the bar or on the door.
No.
No.
So, but yeah, this is allegedly
Yeah.
how Source Bar works.
Yeah.
It's not nice.
No.
Maidstone isn't nice for clubbing.
No. I've not been out clubbing now for quite a while, especially in Maidstone.
It just doesn't interest me anymore.
No, I don't get it.
No. But
I've done all that. It's behind me. I'm old now. I'm past it.
yeah. I mean,
But then we went to another pub.
okay, yeah.
Went up
Oh, yeah.
to
There is more to
went
the
up
story,
to the
isn't
Style
there?
and
Yeah.
Winch.
I love Style
In
and Winch.
actual fact, which is a nice pub.
Got a nice history with Style and Winch.
Yeah, that was where we used to do all our practicing back in the day. They let us use their practice room for free, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which was really nice.
Yeah.
And we were sat out in the beer garden. Lovely evening. There was some dub stuff
Yeah.
on the in the back room. They were playing this proper not dubstep.
Dub like.
reggae dub.
Yes. Okay.
Proper dub.
Good dub.
Yeah, good dub.
Good dub. Not bad dub. Good dub.
This dub, good dub, not
Sound
bad
like
dub.
Lou Frick though. Sorry.
It's the only kind of music he can hear.
Dub.
But yeah, so there's this large guy. There's a group of people sat on one of the picnic benches. It's got the table and the two benches.
Yes.
They're all attached.
Yeah.
There's a group of them sat there, and then two on that side get up and walk off, and the two on this side are sitting there having a drink and whatever. And then all of a sudden, the big guy leans back, and the whole table goes over.
Gee.
The
Those
entire-
things are so bad.
It's awful. They
Small
had
guy then.
There were nah, big guy. There were, I don't know how many glasses there were on there, but they all went to the floor. They all smashed.
That guy got covered in beer and
Yeah,
whatever,
he was
no
covered.
doubt.
He just got
Oh no.
a full pint of Strongbow,
Yeah.
and it went all over him. His mate
bloke.
had this weird moustache that was a bit wafty, but
Hipster tash.
yeah. Except it wasn't very good. When they look good, it's like, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But if someone tries and it just looks shit,
yes.
then.
They just think if I grow it long and put some
Yeah,
wax
put some
on it, it'll be
wax on it.
fine.
Yeah, it
no,
doesn't, no.
don't do that.
But he fell back onto some broken glass and he cut up his back.
Oh Jesus.
I mean, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah,
but
it's
still-
still not nice.
Yeah. And so I had to help. I kind of jumped into action.
Being
And,
the fact that you're an experienced barman, you
Yeah, exactly. As
stuff
soon
you
as
would always-
something kicks off in a bar, I had that automatic kind of.
I'm one of those guys who stands and goes, oh, someone else is helping now.
Yeah. But it was also due
I'm
to the
that
fact
bloke.
that I knew there was a load of broken glass
Yeah,
there and I
of
didn't
course.
want anyone hurting themselves. I don't like that and I wouldn't want that on my night out.
No,
You-
of course.
Do you know
no,
what I mean?
Yeah,
So I helped the big lad up.
yeah.
And someone else was helping the little lad up, and then that we were checking everyone for cuts and stuff. The guy I was helping up was more concerned with the fact that he now stank of cider, which is not a nice smell
No.
when it's spilt over you. But yeah, the little guy kind of got his back cut up, and it was a bit nasty. But
Oh.
yeah.
But it was sterilised.
Yeah,
'Cause of the
exactly.
alcohol, so
Alcohol.
it's fine.
It's fine. Yeah. So he carried on,
Of course he did.
And then as we were leaving that pub, the guy, the big lad, was in the toilet. I was in the toilet using the urinal, and then he came in and was like, "This is gonna be a bit weird, but don't worry about it." And then starts taking his trousers off, and I was like, "It's okay. I know who you are."
Yeah. I helped you. It's fine. Yeah.
But yeah, so then we kind of decided to go home. We'd had
Yeah.
enough excitement for one evening.
Well, you did anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Maidstone, classy. But it's one of those issues with that bloke collapsing the bench. I suppose it's not. I was say about that woman you were talking about the other week with her office chair. Where
Yes.
Do I laugh?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to seem like I'm laughing because they're a larger person.
Yeah.
But
But
they fell over.
It is funny because someone's fallen over, but then you've
Yeah.
got that whole thing of but they're fat, so I shouldn't.
Yeah.
But it is funny. And
But then
the-
that wasn't
Then the
because
thing
of
is,
the
you get
glass.
into a giggle loop
Yeah.
because you're like, I shouldn't, but it's funny. But they're fat, so I shouldn't, but it's funny. And it just goes around and it gets. Yeah.
It's like when you're at school.
Yeah.
Like we used to have Matt and I we used to sit at the back of the English class, and it was like, now you've got to sit and read quietly. And Matt would just sit there, and it's like, now we've got to be good because our teacher's horrible. And Matt would just sit there and go, just make noises, just over and over again in regular intervals. And then I'm sitting there like, I can't laugh. And he's just sitting there going, just loud enough for me and a couple of people around us. And he was an arsehole with that. He was an absolute
I used to have it
arsehole.
in exams as well.
People just do
Exam halls. Like, occasionally you'd look up and catch the eye of someone.
And nothing funny happened.
No, but that is funny.
Because you're not supposed to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they look around like that and you look at them and you kind of... shut up. Yeah. I know, yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah.
You get stuck in those lips where I shouldn't laugh, but it's too funny. Another thing about Medway.
Maidstones,
Maidstones, actually, yeah. This happened a couple of weeks ago, actually, didn't it?
Yeah, an old acquaintance of ours.
This is dated the 18th of July, but this happened a lot before. Long before that.
Because I went back through her timeline a little way.
Oh, on Facebook, yeah, of course. This is somebody I know of. I've never actually spoken to her, I don't think. You have.
I'm an acquaintance. I wouldn't call myself a friend.
Yeah.
But she's a really nice girl. She played in bands around Medway and she's worked in pubs as well.
She was a bassist, wasn't she?
She was a bassist, yeah, for a band whose name I completely blank on. But they're not around
big.
anymore either.
She started up a promotions
That's
company
right,
with somebody else.
Yeah.
That went sour, I think.
Yeah.
But I think our mutual friend Byron, you remember
That's right,
Byron?
yeah.
He knows her. But either way, she's gay.
Yeah.
It's well known throughout Maidstone, I think. But she works in a pub called Earl's, which was an old regular haunt for us as well.
Again, yeah.
And she went out for a cigarette with her partner, with her girlfriend, I think. And she was on a break. She went out for a cigarette.
Yeah, she was on a break. She was actually working there. She was on a break.
Sorry, yes, yeah. She stepped outside and there was a guy. Does it actually say?
Well, from reading back from her Facebook post or her girlfriend's Facebook post, anyway, it's apparently some guy decided to take it upon himself to let her know exactly what he thought of her lifestyle, while his girlfriend blocked the door so no one could go out and no one could get out. Yeah, they couldn't get in and no one else could come out to help, while he punched her about 7 or 8 times in the face. Yeah,
well, it says here, she felt uncomfortable. I think he started approaching her and was just talking to her.
Right.
She felt uncomfortable. He wouldn't stop staring at me and asking me if I knew a certain girl. So it's like, oh, do you know this person?
Right. Which does happen a lot in Medway, in Maidstone, actually.
Do you know so-and-so?
Yeah,
No.
It's weird. Drunk people want to kind of intimidate you by asking you who you know.
Yeah. yeah. So it's like he started to get aggressive.
You're a fucking liar, you are.
Yeah. You do fucking know him.
Yeah.
Like, no,
my favourite one was, have you got a light? No, I don't smoke. Yes, you do. How do you know?
Yeah. But anyway.
Sorry, it's just my own little hang.
So he started to get aggressive and call me names. I just thought he was a drunk customer. When I stood up and asked him to leave, he headbutted her. Which is, that's just vicious. Headbutting is just vicious, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Maidstone resident fell to the floor outside Earl Street Bar and says she was held down and repeatedly punched in the face. It's disgusting. I think he broke her cheek.
He broke her eye socket.
Yeah, and I mean, there's pictures of her on the Kent Online website. Yeah. It's just fucking horrible what he did to her.
Yeah, it's
like, you thought people in England,
it's beyond
and
reproach.
Maidstone are over the gay thing.
People aren't though. People are awful. People are horrible. And again, this links back to the name of the podcast, of course.
Yeah, of course.
I'd rather be anywhere but here. Like, these people exist. Why am I allowed? Why are we allowed to breathe the same air as these complete and utter pricks? Yeah,
she said. It says here as well. Now she's had her eye socket put back into place.
Yeah.
In stitches. She hasn't been back to work, of course, but she said the left side of her face is numb because of the nerve damage.
Yeah.
And she feels like she hasn't got any teeth on the left side of her mouth.
Yeah. It's horrific. I mean,
I've damage.
I've been assaulted in the pub once.
Yeah.
And once only, but not to the extent of this. This is horrific.
I've been randomly punched because I walked around a corner.
Yeah.
I walked around a corner and a guy went, "Move!" and just hit me.
Really?
That was it.
Oh.
And then he kind of, I was just like, "Oh, you fucking out!" And he turned, "What?" Nothing, mate. And then I went, I know you. Your name's so and so, and like, I knew him. And I went, "Oh, your name's so and so." He went, "Yeah." I went, "All right." Walked off. I told my brother. I went, "Oh, do you know this guy who's friends with so and so?"
Yeah, because
I'll ask him. And yeah, my brother's
your
huge.
brother wasn't one to mess with back in the day, was he?
Yeah. So apparently that guy said he would never do it again.
Did he?
Apparently, yeah.
I wonder what.
Yeah, I wonder what happened there. But yeah, so this guy who attacked Lex has been arrested on suspicion of causing GBH
Suspicion.
and bailed until the 29th of August.
Yeah.
And I hope he's not going to get a long enough sentence
No,
because
of
they
course
never
he's not.
fucking do.
No, unfortunately. In fact, there was an assault in the pub that I worked on one of my first shifts alone. And people in the pub knew exactly who they were, told the police the name, and they were like, "Oh, right, okay, well, we'll look into it."
Yeah.
And it was a family from Shep.
Oh, was it?
You know what I mean?
It was a family.
Nothing ever came from it.
There's a surprise.
Yeah, it's pretty awful, and obviously we extend our best wishes for Lex at getting better soon, and hopefully that nerve damage doesn't affect.
No, I think it will come. It will take months.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, so
not years, but it's horrible.
It's awful because
horrible.
it's awful enough, but it's bad when you know the person.
Yeah,
and you know they're a genuinely nice.
Yeah.
There's not, like I say, I don't know her that well, but I know her enough to know that she's not a prick. Do you know what I mean?
She's friends of people you know.
Yeah.
And the people you know aren't pricks.
No.
So there's a good chance
she's
not a prick.
Yeah, precisely. And no one deserves that kind of thing just because, they were in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah. That is essentially what it is, isn't it? He probably wanted a fight. He saw her. He knew she was gay. And
and that was that.
That was enough.
And the fact that the
justification.
Girlfriend was barring the door, the guy's girlfriend.
Yeah.
To stop people coming and helping. It's like that's an extra level of cunt.
Oh yes. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it was obviously planned. They both knew.
Yeah.
Like they got.
Well, this is it. I used to watch people on nights out, where the girl would go round trying to get drinks off guys, and then when the guys reciprocated, her boyfriend who'd been watching from the sidelines would come over and start some shit.
Yeah.
You buying a drink for my girlfriend?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. I've seen people work in packs like that, and it's just.
I think it was either at school or college. Might have been college conversation I've overheard, where there was a group of chavs and they're like, oh, should we go out and get into a fight on Friday then? Like, planning it. They want to.
Yeah, I worked with a guy at Wicks in High Wycombe who one night he was like, "Oh, what are you up to this weekend?" And I was like, "Oh, probably the usual, go down the Union, see what's going on." And I was like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "Oh, we're going to this place. It was out in the sticks somewhere. I'm going to have a fight." Oh, good. Awesome. Why? There's something to do in it. Is it
natural selection?
Yeah. Darwin Awards.
Yeah. Might go get myself killed, so like I can't breed.
Pricks. Sticking on the gay theme. The Commonwealth Games is on this week.
Sticking with the gay theme.
Sorry, it's a little bit insensitive. I do apologise, but there has to be a link, and unfortunately, I went for that. Did you watch the opening ceremony for the Commonwealth Games that are being held in Glasgow this year?
No, I did see your comments of high praise on Twitter.
What, that it's not exactly a Danny Boyle fest? Yeah, it was interesting in that it all kind of revolved around obviously Scottish stereotype and all the rest of it, but it was almost like a Python sketch. Like at the very beginning, this truck comes out from inside a giant kilt. Yeah. And John Barrowman was the man doing all of the singing.
Yeah.
He was on there for a long time.
That well-known Scottish man.
Yeah, with a thick Scottish accent, which he often doesn't have. Because, he's half Scottish and half American, so
that's enough.
He can use both.
Yeah.
Just like he... Yeah. So yeah, they were like dancing Tunnocks tea cakes.
Oh, they're so amazing.
They are great. Yeah. There was a he was being, manhandled through a big purple
vagina
by the looks of things. He did a gay kiss. He kissed one of the male dancers because he kind of swings both ways, isn't he, John Barrowman?
Yeah,
I believe
so. Yeah,
because he's not gay, but he's not. He's a bit in the way that David Walliams is a bit, but he's more kind of overt with his sexuality.
I think John Barrowman's more gay than straight, and David Walliams is more straight than gay.
Yeah,
and Robbie Williams is the same as David Walliams.
True.
I think.
Yeah.
Not that he's got anything to do with it.
No. And then there was a giant blow up Nessie, which looked like an earthworm.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks like a snake or a worm.
Yeah, has a
or
tam
a penis.
o'shanter or a penis. There were Scotty dogs that came out with all the participants when they were parading into the arena.
Oh, okay. So every
The name
country
of the-
had.
yeah. There were 40 dogs for the 52 countries, so a couple of the dogs had to come out twice, and some of them were being carried.
Yeah.
Bless.
Fuck doing that again.
But
Pick me up.
What?
It looks like a Willy Wonka sketch. To me.
Yeah, it was very much like that. And then right at the very end, Rod Stewart came out and they did two Rod
Sailing?
Stewart songs. No, not
Jesus,
Sailing, actually.
really?
No. I can't remember the songs that he did do.
It was that good.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't great. Subo was there. She butchered the first two lines of Mull of Kintyre.
Really?
She didn't know them.
Well, she was probably doing that weird eye thing, so she couldn't read the teleprompter.
But what seems to have sparked most controversy, like I was upset with the amount of John Barrowman that we got.
Yeah.
Because it started off with this female singer down here,
Right.
who's just in the edge of the shot there. And she kind of came down she was sat up in the audience.
Right.
And then she came down and loads of other dancers came down with her. And then John Barrowman came on and I was like, oh, yeah, and then there'll be this person, then there'll be that person. But no, John Barrowman stayed for about 4 minutes.
Oh, my word.
And did a big dancey, all singing, all dancing number. That's what he does.
Musical theatre guy, isn't he?
Precisely. But the big kind of talking point that's come out was the gay kiss.
Of course it was.
Because it was done to celebrate the fact that equality is now a thing in Scotland. They've passed gay marriage,
It's
so
probably
that's a celebration
a
of that.
response to the Olympics as well.
I guess so, yeah. But it's also a kind of response to the fact that out of the 53 Commonwealth member states, 42 of those nations, it's still illegal to be a practicing homosexual.
Right.
So there was a massive outroar
From
about,
those countries.
Yeah. And so it's just a bit of a shame that people weren't. It's not the fact that John Barrowman is fairly offensive in the first place. That's what I found
You're
offensive.
not a fan of him?
No, I don't like him at all.
He's very.
He does what he does, and I'm sure he does it well. But
He's very in
I
your
don't
face
like.
and over the top.
He's too. It's like with certain shows that I watch or listen to.
Yeah.
Certain presenters can be a bit too full on.
Yeah.
And I don't like that kind of approach. I don't like that shouting in your face approach.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he's one of those that just is like, wow, he's over the top. He's larger because he's from the theatre, and you got to be like.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he kind of blasted back out, calling on his Twitter feed, just calling all the people that had commented about it. They were bitter and sad, and
It's just ignorance.
because it wasn't supposed to be.
To.
It wasn't supposed to be a big fuck you to the 42 countries.
I bet it was only sort of like when I say peck, he grabbed the guy's face and ate his face.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a passionate
It wasn't
kiss.
a lingering Frenchie.
It was just a quick. It's one of those things that you see them do on TV, like you're so great, and just a big kiss on your face, and then throw you away.
It was one of those. Yeah.
It's not a big lingering passionate.
No, but it was to do with the fact that equality, gay rights are now the same as
Yeah, I think that's the important thing for those countries to remember. No, it might not be accepted in your country, but in Scotland, where we are now, where the Commonwealth Games are being hosted, it is.
Yeah,
it's their law. Let them.
Yeah, so allow it.
Yeah.
So but yeah. So, but good on John Barrowman for doing it. Good on for the organizer. whose name I cannot remember, because it doesn't actually name the organizer in this article. It just says about John Barrowman.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't quite as ostentatious as Danny Boyle's efforts at the 2012 games.
Just a bit surreal.
A little bit Pythonish, which I don't mind. Fine. I like the fact they were dancing Tunnock's tea cakes.
Yeah.
And a giant inflatable Nessie.
Quickly speaking of Python, actually, as you keep saying it, that was a bloody sham, wasn't it?
What's that?
When they aired the last show live.
I wanted to go and see it, but I didn't.
They aired it live.
Yeah.
On Gold. It's not UK Gold
Oh, that's
anymore,
right.
is it? It's on Gold.
Yeah, the TV
and
channel.
Because it was before Watershed, there was lots of beeps.
Oh, no.
Of inappropriate stuff. And at one point, it actually cut out. And I think it was... his name escapes me. I came up with it the other day when I was telling Liz. Michael Palin. He sat there dressed as his woman saying, "Oh, we apologise, but the Python boys are using offensive language at the moment." And it's like, we will be back. And it was just like, I got about 15 minutes into it. I was like, I can't watch this.
Oh, do you reckon they'd have done that in the cinemas then?
No.
Because they were streaming it in the cinemas.
In the cinemas, it would have had an age limit on it.
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
It would have had an age limit. If you were there live, obviously, it would have been fine. But because it was on TV before the Watershed, you couldn't. And I couldn't watch it. I watched bits of it and I was laughing my head off. But then they kind of done a beep. But it wasn't just like a beep. It was like a...
Oh,
it was like,
really?
oh, that's horrible. So
why
I couldn't
not
watch
just
it.
put it on after the Watershed?
Don't have it on live.
Yeah.
Have it on almost live.
Yeah.
I don't know if on +1 it would have been... Because I think it started at 8 and the Watershed is 9, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to
make
just
a lot of
wait.
sense
I'm just
to
going to
me.
wait for the DVD or Blu-ray to come out and then I'll watch it.
Mm.
But yeah, like when they were doing this, the song "Isn't It Nice to Have a Penis?"
Yes.
Like a lot of that was cut out, was
Right.
beeped. So like penis wasn't.
No,
but
because it's a
when they're
scientific
actually
term.
describing things and saying prick and dick and like they cut that out.
Right.
And it's just like no,
You don't
can't do
censor
that.
the pythons.
No, because that takes the comedy away.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's a shame.
They don't use swearing gratuitously. That's the thing. They're not known for swearing.
No, I
Are
mean,
they really?
I think the most offensive word I've ever heard them use is in Always Look on the Bright Side of Life.
Yeah.
Life's a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the only real curse they use. Did they say fuck? They say bastard
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
John Cleese especially.
Oh, yeah. It's just John Cleese, though, isn't
Yeah, but it's a shame they did that. So.
No, that is a bit disappointing.
Oh well. But
There
I
you
will
go.
be watching. I was looking forward to it as well. I think I even deleted. I was like, fuck that, and I just deleted it because I had it recorded.
Yeah, I meant to go. I wanted to go and see it at the cinema, but I just lost track of what day it was.
Yeah.
What week it was, you know.
But
Oh well, but you know, such is life, I suppose.
Yeah.
They should have put it on later. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. So
this
yeah,
is the part of the
and-
show where we don't know how to
Yeah,
end the
no,
show.
that's it. But yeah, so lots of
Upsetting.
again.
things.
We've hit on an anywhere but here strain again this week, haven't we?
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck, society?
And
Get your
I hope
shit together.
that we haven't upset people too much with our stories, or maybe I hope you haven't been listening to my particular story when you were eating.
Yeah.
Maybe that warning should have come at the start, perhaps, because I knew I was going to be talking about it.
I mean, I think I was more graphic with my my embarrassing
maybe.
story.
Yeah.
Wasn't there one?
Oh crap! I was supposed to talk about that other thing, but I'll do that next week.
Yes, that's fine. I was going to say about
Yeah.
that. I did
Yeah.
have this out to kind of go.
Yeah. No, so
Point. So
we've
I've
run
got
out of
notes and
time because we've
everything.
gone over the hour. But
Yep.
next week I have a as well as whatever we're talking about next week.
Yes.
I will I'll put in the fact that I can now talk about what happened.
Yeah, because we
on,
did mention it 2 weeks
on the Three
ago.
Peaks Challenge. Yeah, on the Three Peaks Challenge that I undertook at the end of last year that I haven't been able to talk about since.
He can now.
I can now, and I will next week. So
sit tight,
stay
kids.
tuned. Don't hold your breath though, because you might die because
Yeah.
it's a whole week.
Just click subscribe and wait for it. And
it'll be much easier to do it that way.
Don't do anything stupid. We don't condone holding. You can't do that though, can you?
Not for a week.
No, I mean you can't hold
Oh.
your breath long enough to kill yourself.
No, because you're automatic.
Yeah.
It's kicking in.
Anyway,
So don't do it anyway because it won't work.
don't even try it.
So for anywhere but here this week, I've been Tom.
And I've been Ant.
Bye.